So, anyways, yeah. So I didn't do very well and whatever, and I thought I was gonna join the military and stuff. But I always drew from a young age. I could focus on drawing, and I never took any classes or anything. My drawings probably weren't good, but I was definitely having fun and focusing. So, anyways, a big influence on my life now in retrospect was Jurassic Park. I would say if I were to pick one thing that that got me into what I'm doing is Jurassic Park. And when I got my hands on that VHS tape, at the end of the credits was a little footage of like the sculpt in clay on the computer and stuff. And I was just my dad is one of those guys that tells the same story, over and over. Like he has like 8 stories, and you've heard all of them, but you're like, yeah, go ahead and tell me. And one of them is seeing Jurassic Park, and they were already in their 30s when they saw it, and he tells me like so passionately, like when I saw Jurassic Park, it was like I saw dinosaurs. Yeah. And after he saw it, he went home and grabbed my mom and said, "You have to see this movie," and took her back the same day to the theater and watched Jurassic Park twice in one day. Yeah. And then afterwards was like, "What'd you think?" And she was like, "Oh my god!" And then like blew their mind. Yeah. Like, oh my god, I see dinosaurs. And the whole time that I watched Jurassic Park, I was like, how the fuck do you make dinosaurs? Yeah. Like, I want to be able to make dinosaurs. I just want to make them. And they're the people that I want to reach. Those same people that are like, oh my god, dinosaurs. I'm the guy that wants to make those dinosaurs. So, anyways, I feel like that's really why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's the driving force, is I want to be able to make the stuff that you don't have to worry about, so that you can you can feel that. You can pretend, and you can like, you know what I mean?
No, and that's like a perfect synergy. Like I wanna play D&D every day, and I kind of do with concept art, and then you want to make the illusion real for people. Yeah, and that totally makes sense.
Yeah, I very much feel like with movies in general, although there are those singular great movies that totally reach me. Mm-hmm. I'm not someone who like studies story or something, and as I'm watching a movie, I completely deconstruct it, and I'm like, this is bullshit. You know what I mean?
That's my job.
Yeah, but I very much feel like I'm the magician instead of the audience member. That I'm either at the show going, oh my god, or I'm at the show like I am right now and going like, how the fuck did he do that? Or I can do that, or whatever. It's in his sleeve, or it's in his palm, and like it's behind stage, it's underneath the thing. He's got a gizmo. Like I'm the guy that knows the secret and doesn't care about the secret. I just care that other people are believing it. I'm very much behind the curtains, and I want to deliver that effect. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah. So yeah, that's us. How we got in the industry: concept artist, character artist. So the relationship between a concept artist and a character artist, I think, is very, very, very important, and something that I've had a little bit of experience in, not too much, but enough to know that getting along with your concept artist is very important, and I also feel like as a concept artist, even you can elaborate on this, but I feel like as a concept artist, knowing where your art's going. Is it a guy who likes it spelled out? Is it a guy who likes to fill in the blank? Is it a guy that you can bounce ideas off of? Do you trust his design sense? Do you think he can go on, can you let the leash up a little bit? Is he someone who just doesn't care about you and hates you? Whatever. So I feel like it's very important from both ends. And as a character artist, you want to be able to talk to someone who knows more about the character than you, so you can get insight yourself in making the character. And as a concept artist, I feel like it's important to know the character artist, much like it would be as a director or a writer, knowing the actor that's going to portray their character. So
no, and that is an important thing, because you have to figure out what your character artist is comfortable with. And so sometimes you'll work with a guy who just kind of wants to be a technician. He wants everything spelled out. He doesn't have to think about design or anything. He just has to think about building this thing efficiently. I'm really super lucky to be working with Jason, because I can like half blah a concept out and not even do like texture callouts or anything. We can just talk over coffee, and then he has like a really rough concept, and then he can just riff on it from there. And as long as you stay within the framework of what is this archetype, what does it mean, and what is the emotional impact that the player is supposed to have, those are the important things. And then from then on, I don't really care what he does as long as those are, that's kind of the wide road that I established with the designer that me and him will figure out as he's modeling it. And so he does paint overs of my stuff. I do paint overs of his stuff. I may have said that already, but whatever. And but that's the cool. It's two people, at least two people tackling one thing, and that's I really appreciate this relationship because I don't have to like super spell everything out, and I hate having to do orthographics and send them overseas, and people have questions, and then stuff doesn't make any sense, and then there's stuff that I won't think of that he will, and that I trust his design sense, and he's worried about tertiary details that I don't have a whole lot of time to spend on, so it makes my job easier, and I can go faster and work on another concept instead of really having to sit down and babysit somebody. Yeah. And so I just love that, and so I think the key thing though is really just as much as you are a visual problem solver, you are a verbal problem solver, and you really have to be able to break things down and extrapolate on what this character is or what this environment is, and like what you want the player to feel, and then they take those big broad themes and really focus it down and make it real. Yeah. And that I'm so lucky. If you work at a bigger company, you could have a problem because you never get a chance to talk. They're in another building maybe. Yeah. And they you just don't have that relationship. But I've been really lucky to be able to jump from small studio to small studio where it's always kind of a family, and everyone's just as a group effort trying to make something work. And so you have that immediate feedback. Yeah. And I know that the first idea that I come up with is kind of half baked, and you need that like back and forth. And he has really strong opinions, and believe me, Jason is kind of stubborn, but
piece of work.
But without that back and forth, every concept that would come out of me quickly would be tits and jetpacks. It's just the most easy, basic concepts. There's nothing to it. It's just about that immediate impact, which is important, but that can't be the whole result. Yeah, it can't be the only
It doesn't have to be the final answer.
Yeah. You can't just do a cliche every time, because no one's going to be interested in that. They want something new. Yeah. And that it's hard as a concept artist too, because you want your concepts to be fresh and new and innovative, and you can't do that without some time or without some feedback. Yeah. And I really trust Jason to like help me get there, and then the same way I think he trusts me to help him get there. Yeah. And that's so beautiful. Like that's what makes it fun, and like a group of friends really trying to make something work instead of a dictator and a worker or something, or like not even that, just like you're just a number at EA or something, or like heaven forbid, like you're just separated from everything else and isolated.
If you are working at a big company, you should definitely seek out.
No offense to EA, by the way.
Yeah. Oh wow! If you are working at a big company, you definitely gotta work on that relationship. Whatever art you're doing as a concept artist, look for that 3D artist that's gonna get your work. I mean, it's a really big deal. It's
in your best interest.
Yeah,
like it helps you.
It helps each other. It helps. I mean, as a concept artist, you want that subject to be rad. Mm-hmm. As a 3D artist, you want it to be rad. You gotta get together on your similarities. You both want it to be rad. Can you help out each other making it rad? It's gonna be a two-way. I mean, if you can get more people in there, that's even better. But I mean, the 2D artists and 3D artists have so much in common in terms of like this thing that they're tasked with for a while. So, anyways, we're coming to the end of this video right now. Oh yeah. So here's the end of our first guest commentator, Red. Thank you for coming on. We'll probably do this again. And here's the final render of the Ogre sculpt. Rendered out some layers and tweaked it in Photoshop and the lighting and stuff. So there you go.
Looking good.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon. See you later.